And yes, I did say
Nice.
Daddy Daddy Michael. Ellen. Admit.
This is my own name.
It's just the first time that came to mind. Like just the first time that came to mind.
All right.
Admit. There we go. Now I gotta mute you over there. Silence.
I'm pretty sure I got all everything on mute. Yeah.
All right. Oh, I need to get rid of that. Alrighty. What's up, Chaos?
Hi.
Hi. You done having technical difficulties?
I think so.
That'd be good. That's nice.
My
Are they done
computer,
with you though?
my laptop was like, "Oh no, you took me to class today. You moved me. Oh my god, I don't know
How
what to
how,
do."
how dare you dethrone me?
Yeah, literally. Yeah, how dare I just thrown it from its dock?
So what did you want to talk about tonight? You texted me. I forgot. I didn't think about it. I was watching Vikings, and then I thought about it again, and then yeah.
Well, it kind of goes along with something Mike and I were talking about, so we're gonna be able to kind of cover a couple things with it. So,
Mm-hmm.
uh, and Mike, of course, we were talking about because the multiverses game brought it up, and Smash
Okay.
Brothers, and how what they achieved with that. Well, basically, the way multiverses has all these characters, it's a big, they're literally just straight up doing the whole Smash Brothers thing. And Smash Brothers, of course, I'm pretty sure has the Guinness Book of World Records for most crossovers from that many franchises in a game ever.
That
I
wouldn't
think so.
surprise me at all.
Yeah, I think it does. Don't quote me 100%, but I think it does. Uh, but then and then of course PlayStation 3 had PlayStation All Stars, which was also
Mm-hmm.
which was the first game to do a Smash Brothers ripoff or clone, I should say.
I remember seeing that. I don't remember ever playing it. I remember seeing either it in either GameStop or a magazine or something.
Yeah,
Game
it didn't do
Informer.
that well. They gave up on it right away. It didn't do that well. It was okay, but it didn't strike a chord with people. Multiversus seems to be doing really well. It was actually the best selling game in July,
Oh,
from what
nice.
I heard. And as far as Xbox goes, Killer Instinct on Xbox One kind of kind of did that a little bit, kind of like Mortal Kombat 10 and 11, where it brought a lot of cameo characters in from other franchises,
Okay.
and in this case, particularly Xbox franchises. So it was kind of like a Smash Brothers Lite. If it was a fighting game, Xbox exclusive, it brought in Arbiter. It brought in Rash from Battletoads, which is now Xbox property because of Rare. It
Huh.
brought in General Ram from Gears of War. So it's bringing in all these. It's like, oh wow, it's crossing over universes, and they're all Xbox franchises.
Why am I
And,
just
and
now hearing about this? Have I been living under a rock?
oh, Killer Instinct is an incredible fighting game. It's my favorite modern fighting game of all time at
Okay,
this
so
point.
I've been living under a rock.
It's technically, I think it's still, well, it's on Game Pass. It should be on
Okay.
Yeah. If you ever want to play it, man, it's awesome. It's so fun to pick up and play. It's super easy to pick up and play. It's so cool. It's
Battletoads.
and yeah, yeah. Rash is in it, and it's incredible. We're gonna definitely need to fire that up one night. Like, it'll be a thrill.
I'd
Um,
say let's do it now, but the new season just dropped the COD, and I don't want to do that now. I want to play
right.
COD.
We'll just do it when we're just like, let's do something else, right? Like we've been doing.
I
Um,
still want an actual like maybe Wednesday nights or Friday nights we play something different, or Monday
yeah,
nights.
we could make a designated day, like
I'm good for that.
alternate
Hmm.
day, alternate game day, or two couple times a week or something. That'd be cool.
It seems Monday we end up getting like absolutely destroyed lately. Like
Yeah,
Mondays have not been fun. That's not how I want to end my freaking weekend.
yeah. Oh yeah, we can hop on. We can hop on just just because this stuff we just have fun. It's not frustrating and crazy. We just hop in there and have fun with these games that we've been doing. So having said all that, and Master a female Spartan
Okay.
that looked just like Master Chief was also in Dead or Alive 4 on 360 as a
Yeah.
cameo as well. So
Hmm.
they've kind of done this a little bit here and there, kind of like how Smash Brothers took all these Nintendo franchises, but then of course introduced franchises from all over the spectrum. So Mike and I were talking about how, man, wouldn't that be sick if Microsoft said, "Hey, let's do an incredibly epic, awesome, a lot like Battlefront, Star Wars Battlefront 2, as just kind of a basic blueprint of what kind of gameplay we're talking about
Okay.
of
They're
every Xbox property in one game,
a,
and you can
a,
play as anybody you want against
a
whoever
third
you want."
person or a first person
Yeah,
sandbox style game or objective style game.
yeah, like where it have you'd have the team deathmatch if you wanted.
Hmm.
You'd have the 2v2s if you wanted. Three. You basically go to anywhere from 1v1s to quads. 4v4s of main
Attack,
characters
attack and
and
defend and conquest style gameplays as well.
yeah, that and you can have a battle royale in there. You can
Hmm.
have a standard deathmatch in there. You could do whatever. It would, and also Fortnite's. And I hate to use that as an example, but it is. But Fortnite has tons of franchises crammed in there.
Oh,
And
yeah.
cameos, right? So that, but they're not exclusive to anything. So, just epic games. So, uh, if Microsoft were to take the best of everything, pull from the best of everything with all these different types of games, but basically like Smash Brothers, the spirit of Smash Brothers, where they're doing the biggest ambition of characters possible and franchises together in one game possible, but instead of the fighting game route or the brawler route, shooter route.
Hmm.
And the possibilities are like, imagine, because I love kind of like on Star Wars with the heroes, how each hero
Right.
has like three main powers,
Hmm.
and they all have their move sets and they're all different. But then imagine like Master Chief, like you have a left bumper attack, which is like plasma grenade. Right bumper is plasma sword. You get like three swings of the plasma sword, and then like hit both bumpers together at the same time, and that makes it where Master Chief gets a, I don't know, like he's able to bring out a rocket launcher
Pops it.
for a
Pops
few
it.
shots.
Oh yeah, rocket launcher or a warthog or something.
Yeah, some kind of that, and all these are attacks that recharge and have cooldowns. And imagine every character having their whole unique sets of moves, their own sets of weapons based off of what the franchises are from, and you can play as whoever you want. And on the cover of this game, imagine this: on the cover of the game, you'd have Master Chief facing off against Marcus Phoenix, staring down Marcus Phoenix from Gears of War. And that would be the cover art, and it would and on each side of them would be all these Xbox franchises facing down each other on each side.
That would
Heroes and
be
villains alike.
flipping epic.
Because I mean, and you know what? And just the thing, if they made, and I say Battlefront because Battlefront I think is a very solid blueprint for just the fundamental gameplay style
Yeah.
of gameplay.
Hmm.
But take it further. But take that and expand on it. And make it that and I say that game is awesome in first person and third person. Make it both, just like that
Yeah.
is. You can
Yeah.
switch back and forth whichever way you want because you want to be able to see your hero, but at the same time you might be like, well, I'm cool with that, but I want to also feel like a lot of those games do, like Halo. Well, you can switch to first person,
Hmm.
and that'd just be so cool. Imagine you're Marcus Phoenix and you're going against the Arbiter on the other team.
Right.
Or whatever.
Doom guy's there for whatever reason.
Joanna Dark from Perfect Dark, and
Is Doom Xbox exclusive right now?
not exclusive, but
Oh, okay.
it is. But Bethesda and id are
Oh,
owned
We're
by
not talking
that's
about
right,
Microsoft.
that's right,
exclusive.
that's right,
We're
that's
talking
right.
about the studios
Microsoft
that are
owned.
there.
Right,
Microsoft
yeah, as
owned.
long yeah.
Okay.
See,
Okay.
they have so many properties under their name now, under their umbrella now,
Hmm.
that it would not. This is all stuff that they would have at their fingertips. They wouldn't even have to negotiate these things. They own them.
Yeah, they could just do it.
They can just do it. Like,
Huh.
and of course, they could negotiate third-party stuff if they wanted to and add them in there as extra, kind of like
Hmm.
I'm sure they'll work
obviously
something out.
Well, kind of like multiverses. That's not.
Yeah.
I don't think every single one of those are Warner Brothers properties. They've just negotiated
No.
third-party stuff
yeah,
in there.
100% they're not. Not all of those are.
And same thing with Smash Brothers. Obviously, not every single bit of it was Nintendo.
Yeah.
Right.
Most of it was, but there were exceptions, right? Where they were not. Well, I mean, hell, they have they
Final
have
Fantasy 7.
they have Vault Hunter, they have a Pit Boy.
Yeah.
Or what's he called, Mike? You know, the little blonde guy graphic. You know, that represents the little avatar that represents Fallout throughout the series. Is it Vault Hunter? Is it just Vault Hunter?
No, it's not Vault Hunter. It's
I know it's
Vault
not
Boy.
Vault Boy.
Boy.
Yeah, see, yeah, there's a Vault Boy skin that you can put on your Mii on Smash Brothers. So, and Doom Guy. So you got Doom Guy, you got Vault Boy, and you got a Dragonborn. All in Smash Brothers, technically. They're only outfits; they're not full characters, but that puts them in the game.
Yeah.
It's official property.
Hmm.
So that would just be the possibilities of that alone are endless. And it would be like it would be the Smash Brothers of Xbox, but a shooter, and it would, I think it would explode.
I bet.
You can have it free to play, and
Mhm.
have a paid option to get more content, or free to play, just like Multiverses, where you can play for free, but you get a bare bones version. If you want to be out, and if you want to get more characters and content and everything, you gotta have make a good comprehensive, but you feel like you're really getting your money's worth battle pass system. Honestly, the battle pass thing to me, I kind of like how Master Chief Collections approached it, where there's no time limit on anything. All the seasons are there for just all time. They don't time limit any of it. You can go
Oh, really?
back and progress on it any way you want on the seasons. I would actually go with that, not have it where, oh man, I didn't do it in time, I missed out.
For Halo 5, is what you're saying.
Or well, Master Chief Collection, because the Master Chief Collection has its own system.
Right.
It has its own. It has literally to this. Actually, Halo 5 doesn't even really have any updates anymore. It's just Master Chief Collection that's been updated up until Infinite.
Oh no, that's what I meant. Not 5, Infinite.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Infinite.
So
Yeah.
my twist on this is I would want a 4-player co-op concept to it.
Oh, absolutely. That's another. Yeah. We
Me
brought
and
that
three
up
of my
too.
buddies with these characters from multiple franchise all just tearing into a story mode of everything that was bad in those
It wouldn't
games.
even have to be a well thought out story mode, I don't think.
No. It could be goofy. Absolutely could be goofy.
Well, and it's not like that hasn't been done before, because even though it wasn't that great for what it was, but it could have been. Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite did that. It had a straight up campaign. It had a campaign mode in it. I mean, for a fighting game, it's a story mode in a fighting game, so it has cutscenes in between all the fights, and the fights are all set with who you're fighting and why. But then that's obviously Marvel and Capcom characters, all these universes colliding, and they actually did a story out of it.
Huh.
And you can play through it and experience
all
the
Dragon
story.
Ball Z games the same way. They have full story modes for all them too.
Right, and that's obviously the best in the business is Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat has the best story modes, period. At this point, like Mortal Kombat 10 and 11, or 9, 10, and 11 have amazing story modes in fighting games. And 11, that was my favorite thing about that whole game. That story mode was awesome, really awesome.
I never played it.
Oh, it's worth it just for the story mode alone. Like if you download it on Game Pass and just beat the story mode, that'd be worth it. It takes you back to how good the original movie was. It's actually well done. It's better than any other Mortal Kombat content I've seen, other than the '95 movie.
Oh, I think I actually started one of the Mortal Kombat campaigns, and I can't remember which one or when. It was years ago. But you actually start as like just a regular character, right? You don't start as a hero on some of them. On one of them, I want to say this was on like PlayStation 3.
So Mortal Kombat 9 was on PlayStation 3 and 360, and then 10 was on PS4, Xbox One, and as well as 11.
It actually might have been 9.
Yeah, 9 was 9's actually including myself, a lot consider 9. 9 is my overall favorite, but 11 had the best story mode because they just got better at it. But the mechanics of the actual fighting game itself, I think, was the best in 9. Mortal Kombat 9 is an excellent game. And it was just called Mortal Kombat. That's the thing. It's air quotes 9, but it's just Mortal Kombat. It was a bit of a kind of a reboot of the franchise, really, when that came out.
Ellen loves Mortal Kombat 11. Nice.
Yeah, it's a great game. And then, you know what? It's not. Wait, where is it? Is it backwards compatible?
No idea.
I don't know.
I forgot. I know I checked it out recently, but oh no, it is. Oh, it is. That's right. Yeah, they did it. That was the last one. I think that was the last patch of games that made backwards compatible. They got Mortal Kombat 9 on there, so it's you could play it on Xbox One and beyond. But the other question I had, so that's obviously a fun idea, taking a game and the Smash Brothers equivalent of Xbox, but a shooter and just as big as you can imagine in terms of options and making it super fun and it would be something they could just continue to expand on, like, you know, kind of like they did Master Chief Collection. But otherwise, my question for everybody that it'd be fun to think about, because I know my answer. What would be a game you're like, oh man, if you could just make whatever game you wanted, like you're like, okay, here's a studio of talented developers
Ooh.
that can confidently fulfill a vision if you give it to them. What is that vision? What game do you want to see made? That if you feel like it's not being made properly or not being made at all.
Talking like original idea or like relaunch?
It could be whatever, honestly.
I don't know how well they'd be able to do it and if it would have enough hype. But you remember I think they were on GameCube? The Lord of the Rings games?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, PS2 and
yeah, they were on all three.
Mm-hmm.
They were on all three, yeah. Two Towers, and it's funny. It was Two Towers, and then it was Return of the King. But technically, Two Towers had Fellowship of the Ring and Two Towers in the same game.
Right. That was
So it was only 2 games that represented all 3 movies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Dude, that style of maybe not that style of game, but remaking those games or something, and something like it would be nice. I know they've done a Lord of the Rings game recently, and I can't remember the title of it. And I started playing it, and I got bored, and I put it away.
Oh, well, there's a Shadows of Mordor.
That's
there's
it.
2 of them.
That's it.
Yeah, or Shadow of Mordor,
Mm-hmm.
and then the.
yeah, they never got my attention either much. Even when
I started playing it. It didn't really.
It was Assassin's Creed, Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's probably why I just kind of went in and never mind. Maybe
I really
that.
liked the first one, but it did kind of fizzle out by the second half of the game for me. But I really was into the first half, and then it didn't. The mechanics didn't really change enough by the second half of the game, and I just kind of I ended up just kind of getting through it by the second half, even though the story was good.
But more of a hack and slash type of game rather than
Yeah.
rather than
beat 'em up.
Assassin's Creed or an open world, or maybe have an open world aspect to it. I don't know.
No, yeah, take those games and expand on that. Like make them, take them and remake them and make them even more epic.
Here we go. Lord of the Rings, but it's Borderlands. As far as open world.
Oh, I see. Yeah, looting, exploring.
So, you know,
Looting,
loot a shooter,
exploring, still has a storyline. That would be kind of cool.
Yeah, so you want because really, Shadow of Mordor is one of the closest ones to it, and that depends on who you are.
Mm-hmm.
I never got around to the second one. I know it's good. I know I like it. I just haven't gotten around to it. You want a straight up all my crap Lord of the Rings game.
Yeah. No like finesse. Finesse if you want to. No finesse. Like go around just. It doesn't even have to be the main characters. It can be a side shoot. There's so much like unexplored Tolkien stories that he's documented and answered questions, and his son that published a lot of his work that he had written but hadn't actually published and expanded on and everything like that. Like there's so much unexplored stuff that it'd be really cool to get like side stories and open world type of
Yeah,
things.
I would play the hell out of that. I've
I
always wanted it because I love those two. I played the crap out of those two Lord of the Rings. Like
Yes.
I beat the snot out of them on Xbox back in the day. I still have them.
I did like those games on my PS2 way back when.
Yeah.
They had depth, man. You could level up your, especially in Return of the
Yeah,
King. It
yeah.
took it even
Mhm.
further.
Level up, and there's tweaking you could do, and skills that you gained and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It was
Mhm.
actually more
It had a lot of replay. I played.
for
I mean,
movie
replay
games.
value.
They were actually pretty well done.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I completely forgot about the leveling up the characters. So you could play that game over and over and over again as a different character. I remember
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
And then you would unlock combos. You would unlock
Mhm.
abilities, and it was super good. It was a very very solid hack and slash.
Yeah.
Like arcade style hack and slash, and and at the time the visuals and the spectacle was a lot like the movie, and it was great. I love those games.
Yeah. Well, Lord of the Rings style hack and slash looter shooter. Doesn't even
Yeah,
have to be Lord of the Rings, just that kind of a medieval hack and slash looter shooter. That would be dope.
or Lord of the Rings Diablo, but better than just that. But the way there's a lot of world, there's a lot to explore, there's a lot to
Mhm.
loot, a lot to fight.
Mhm.
Yeah, that'd be sick. That would be sick. What do you think? What do you think, Mike? What's a game? I know we agree on one game that we've wanted to be made, and we've been let down by basically a game that's probably never going to come out that we thought was going to be something along those lines.
Uh, Day Before is it called?
Yeah, the day before.
Yeah. So,
Hmm.
me and Steve have talked a lot about this, but like the true massive open world zombie game of survival, no
Hmm.
one's done it right.
Hmm.
Like they've always skimped on something to ruin it. And
So it's either too survivally or either too looter shooter. Never something
yeah,
down the middle.
Yeah, like
or they turned it into a level base. Like a lot of them just it's like, oh, you're just going through levels, or there's always some sort of silliness that always kind of just catches it, like where like the closest thing to I could even describe it that actually comes to mind that actually is what we're looking for is 7 Days to Die. If you ever played that or ever seen it,
I have not.
it's a great game in itself, but at the end of the day, it's almost like a Minecraft mod. At the end of the day,
right. Yeah, and that's once again, it's like all right. So Days Gone. That's one of the best examples of a fully
yes,
rounded game that kind of like what we're talking about. It's fairly linear for what it is, even though it's not linear.
yeah.
It's kind of linear.
Well, it's quasi-linear, but it's also not a survival game either.
Right, yeah. Especially after a while, when you get powerful enough and you have the right guns, you can handle yourself pretty damn well. And you literally single-handedly take on hordes. We're talking about if there's a horde, your ass ain't taking on a horde by yourself. You ain't doing it.
Yeah.
You'll be lucky if you survive.
Or
You have to be smart.
you've created a gauntlet.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you.
like right. Like you have to think about what you're doing because you have limited ammo. And I'm not talking where it's frustrating survival. I'm talking where more like Resident Evil, where it's survival horror where you have limited ammo, you have limited supplies. You have to think about what your next move is, and you have to think on your feet, but also manage your resources. But it would be a big, pretty expansive land, like almost like a size of like a state or something, which Day Before was really looking like that. But I don't think that game's. I'm questioning if it's even a real game or not at this point. But
That's
Dunk
what I'm
said
leaning
he
towards of not being real.
Dunk said he
Yeah.
wants a remake of the NES classic Bayou Billy,
I don't know what that is.
which is actually a game. I googled it before I said anything. Because sometimes he says some weird stuff.
I don't know if I've seen that or not.
You should pull up a cover art real quick.
You know what? a game I want to be brought back essentially is a true Rogue Squadron return, and I'm not talking about Squadrons. That's not Rogue
Yeah,
Squadron.
yeah,
Hmm.
yeah.
Oh, which Rogue
I don't care what
Squadron did
people
I had?
say.
I had the N64 Rogue Squadron.
That's
Yeah,
what
like
I had
that.
too.
Like
and
that.
there was a couple other ones that came out too.
But what
Like
was
there
it
was
called
there
again?
was a
Bayou
What?
Billy.
Bayou Billy. But a true return of Rogue Squadron. Love those games. Like the story even.
Hmm.
For a game that you're just flying around in X-wings and stuff.
Oh my, I have never seen this. I have never seen this.
What am I looking at?
I have no idea. It's like a Crocodile Dundee abomination.
I really, 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 because you have the capability of playing it, I really want you to find a cheap copy of it and play it and review it
I'm
now.
curious now. Yeah, I wonder
It-
what it. I wonder. Let's see.
I saw an image on there of a lot on eBay with that of 14 games that had that cartridge in it. I just kind of glanced over it, but and again, make sure you don't want anything you don't want shown.
Yeah. Here, I want to do this for a second, just to be on the safe side, I guess. Okay.
Always wanted Princess Peach to have her own game. I thought she did. I could be wrong.
She's been in lots.
She's
but
been in a lot.
her
I don't think
own
she's ever been the main
exclusive?
character though.
I don't recall. I don't think so.
Yeah, I
Now that
don't think so
about
either.
it.
Something popped into my head, but I'm pretty sure it was just part of the game. I don't think it was an actual. Oh, I'm thinking of. Oh, there was an RPG for Super Nintendo,
Ooh,
a turn-based game.
here's a bid on a decent copy that I will watch this.
For
I
a
will,
buck.
I will totally bid on this. I'm gonna snipe this. Oh yeah, man! I'll snipe the hell out of that. See, all right. Here's what you do. I haven't
Thank you,
talked
Dunks.
I actually haven't talked about this before. So I've done a lot of eBay selling. I've done a good amount of selling, but I bought much of my collection through eBay, right? So I am a pro at buying stuff on eBay or at bidding. So what you want to do, what you do is you literally wait. See, it's 2 days and 21 hours left. You have it where your phone because I have it on my phone. It notifies you, hey, it's got 15 minutes till the bid's closing. You literally wait till the last 5 seconds. Better your internet connection, the better, of course. But you literally wait till the last 5 seconds and you bid how much the highest amount you're willing to pay for this. You could have somebody who's like, oh man, I put down $3.99. Nobody else has bid on this thing. I'm just gonna see what happens, and then you put down $16.99. I'm like, you know what? I want to put down. I always put 99 cents on top of whatever I bid, just in case, because I've outbid people by 7 cents, and I've been
Nice.
outbid by mere change, right? So you always throw 99 cents on top of whatever you're doing, just in case somebody does a goofy number. But you literally bid, because instead of being like, see, honestly, only morons sit here and be like, oh, I want to bid $20
Yep.
right now. And if somebody, and what people do, and it's days before it's over, they're like, they keep bidding and bidding until they outbid you. Then it sits there and it's like, and it raises it, raises it, raises it, raises it. It's like, why are you all raising it? Don't bid until the last second with what you want, with what you're willing to pay for it, and let the best man win last second. Because if you keep outbidding each other, it's not like it's gonna fast forward in time and be done sooner. You're just gonna jack up the price.
Right.
But that's how some people will bid on their own item with the secondary account and drive the price up. That happens too.
So here's the game I was thinking of what popped in my head because I played this. She was one of my main characters. It was Super Mario RPG 11, Legend of the Seven Stars.
Oh yeah, I've got that.
Mm-hmm.
On
Great
Super,
game.
Yeah, on Super Nintendo.
Yep,
Yep.
great game. That's what popped into my head when Princess Peach has never had her own game. She was a very powerful character in that.
Yep. I actually have this. I have this complete.
Hmm.
Because I actually don't have Paper Mario, which is the basically the sequel. It's called Paper Mario, but it's actually Mario RPG on the 64. And I don't have it. I could download it. I think it's over the I think I have till the 28th, but I could download it on my Wii U before the store, because the store is about to close on Wii U.
Hmm.
I think it's the 28th. Like the store, you have no way of buying anything anymore on Wii U store
Got
on
it.
the eShop. And I was considering. I'm like, I don't know. I kind of bought what I wanted to buy on it. There's nothing
Hmm.
outright like, but I could get that for $10 on there. Whereas normally it's like anywhere from 50 to 60 or even 80 or more
Right.
to get any copy of it now, because it's a popular. Well, it's kind of a cult. It's kind of a cult hit for the 64.
Paper Mario.
Yeah, and it's
Hmm.
not cheap. So I'm like, but how much do I really want it? It's supposed to be a solid game. I mean, I don't doubt how good it is, but I do have this one though. I cared
I
more about
love
this one.
this game. We played the heck out of this game, man.
Yeah, no,
It's so good.
it's considered a classic. I mean, it
Hmm.
was literally it's a solid RPG
Hmm.
for with Mario characters. They actually pulled it off very well. Um,
I remember the final
it
boss
looks
being
good.
absolutely ridiculously hard. But no, I think literally what we did is just the three characters that were on there. Me and my brothers, it would be Bowser, Peach, and Mario. Would be the three characters we pulled out.
so so yeah, like other examples of what we're talking about would be like Red Dead Redemption Undead Nightmare.
Hmm.
Hmm.
That was a very solid. Uh, that was only DLC, but it actually took the whole map of Red Dead Redemption One and turned it into a zombie horror land. Zombies were
Hmm.
everywhere, and it
Old
actually
West
was
zombie
excellent.
horror, at least.
Yeah, and
Cool concept.
yeah, it was amazing. That was one of the best DLCs I've ever played in a game. We were really hoping they would have brought a second one in Red Dead Redemption 2, but they never did. A lot
The
of people actually wanted it. They
the
didn't
zo-
care.
Rockstar
the
checked
zombies
out
in
on all
board.
that.
Yeah.
What's that?
But the Rockstar just checked out on DLCs. Period.
Oh
Never
Yeah,
yeah.
did
they're like,
anymore.
we're just gonna do the online thing and make a lot of money with that. That's it. They didn't care anymore.
It's pulling teeth just to get them to make a game now.
The zombies in Borderlands too. That little DLC was fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that would be take a lot of things, pull a lot of things from a lot of games that did it right. The things that did do right, put it into one game and make the ultimate fun, atmospheric survival horror zombie open world game with where you know you really do build up your character. You know, your guns are pieced together over time with what guns you find, and every time, like, let's say you're resourceful. Let's say you find a old gun store and you actually find new weapons and ammo
Hmm.
because you went out of your way to go and find it, and you actually luck out. And Dawn of the Dead would be a huge inspiration for it too. With the I like the open, you know, like a Dawn of the Dead. It's basically the open road.
Hmm.
Um, the open. I love the open road concept of zombie movies. Like when they do it, Dawn of the Dead did it. Even Zombieland did it. That was a road trip zombie movie,
Hmm.
to where they're just going from one place to the next to the next to the next, just trying to survive and trying to find resources, trying to find other people, whatever, right? So that it would be like that, where you're in this living, breathing world, and from one place to the next, and you're just trying to find whatever you can,
Hmm.
gather whatever you can, and then maybe even create a home base and so on, so on.
Build for it. I want to
Talk
build
about
for it.
one game that I was very disappointed with. That could have been epic.
What's that?
It, the Battlefield 5 BR Firestorm or whatever it was. Did you guys play that at all?
No.
I played Battlefield 5 a little bit, but I never got
I never played it at all.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge battle. I'm not a big BR fan to start with.
Hmm.
And the only reason
Warzone's
I
the
got a
exception.
Warzone is because it was the closest thing to like something similar to what I enjoyed from Battlefield 4.
Mhm.
That's the only reason I got into that. So
So it had all the right markers. Like there was helicopters you could fly, you could drive anything, any vehicle on the map you could drive, tractors, whatever.
Mhm.
There was no loadouts, but you could pick up. There was a tier system of guns on the ground. Armor plates you would carry, stuff like that. It was really, well, I should say the concept of it, the the foundation of it was really well done. Just they never got their servers right, and it wasn't free to play. So it fell on its face. They invested a lot of money into making something to compete with Apex and Fortnite, and did not make it free to play, and it fell on its face.
How about this? How about we do get a little bit more specific? If you could pick a single game to have if you could pick a single game to have completely overhauled and remade, but yet
Ooh.
staying perfectly faithful to the original, just like you love it and remember it, but yet upgrading it in the best ways possible to modern graphics and mechanics, what would be a game you'd be like, oh, that would just be, you just know it would be a killer version.
I already got my answers. So
I
Go for it.
I probably know what it is too.
OG Killzone.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Mhm.
I agree.
OG
I
Killzone.
I agree with that hard. That would be so epic
Mhm.
if they just just went full budget on it, completely remade it, and updated it, and brought back the franchise with that. Because the first one, that would be awesome.
A proper battlefield battlefield game, Battlefield
A
4,
proper, like a
successful Battlefield game.
yeah, just a
Um,
modernized Battlefield 4.
yeah, yeah, seriously. Like I don't know how they missed so hard with Battlefield 5. What was the one after 4, in between 4 and 5?
Battlefield One.
Hardline.
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 Oh, Hardline.
Yeah.
That's
And
right.
then one.
Yeah.
I really liked Hardline. The only problem I had with that was, well, pretty
It was
much
a reskin.
the same problem I have with Battlefield 5 and Battlefield 1 is that the vehicles were just too OP. There was, if you got somebody in your lobby that knew how to fly the helicopters, or drive the tanks or the armored vehicles, there was nothing you could do about it.
I only played a beta.
So that was
I
the
thought
thing
it was
about
okay,
4.
but I couldn't
Is
get
I
into it.
loved the David versus Goliath scenario, being an engineer against all the vehicles in the map.
Mm-hmm.
I was a big fan of that.
Yeah, I think that's probably why I played TDM on Battlefield 4 a lot rather than Conquest or anything like that. But that's also too. I was usually playing by myself. I didn't have a full squad to play with, so that would change it completely for me if I had four people to jump on with. It's like, okay, we're all gonna do this. We're all running explosives. We're gonna go kill that thing. Like that made all the difference when people would actually focus and go after objectives. That made all the difference in the world. But same with Battlefield 5. I played it with Ben a little bit, or a lot of it. Um, but it was only the two of us. We didn't have enough for a full squad. So objective games and objective modes and stuff like that. It's like, well, we don't have the rest of our squad here. We can't hold down B, so we're just gonna get overrun. Okay. I killed 3 of them. There's 10 more.
Trying to decide because Killzone, that's such a good choice.
Hmm.
I would say the same thing in a heartbeat, but I'll think of something different though.
I can't, off the top of my head, I can't think of any full blown campaign ones that I'd want to remaster of.
Of Battlefield?
Battlefield. Actually,
Campaign.
the Battlefield 4
Campaigns?
campaign was awesome.
Yeah, it had a pretty good campaign.
I'm
We had a pretty
thinking,
good campaign too, so.
I'm thinking Xenogears PlayStation One. It would be a huge undertaking to do it, but if they did and they did it right, and like made it. I would say I know it's not as simple. You can't make a RPG look like a fighting game's visuals because fighting games are very small and focused. And
Hmm.
but like a a a goal or not the all right as close to this as you possibly can with whatever said engine. The way Guilty Gear, the way that these new Guilty Gear games look, and the way Dragon Ball Z Fighters looks from under that's actually Unreal 4 doing it,
Hmm.
but the way those look, the way those anime characters look so good in 3D, like they're fully 3D models, but like they look like anime. Like they look like full
Huh.
animation, but they're not. They're 3D rendered models in Unreal Engine. Yeah, there's a lot of wizardry going on to do it, so it's not so you couldn't just simply throw that and make a whole big expansive RPG with those kinds of visuals, but as close to that as possible, and make that the goal or the target visual for the character or the character models, because a lot of anime character models just kind of come off as plasticky and they look like toys, and their emotion doesn't come off very well, and
Hmm.
it just a lot of JRPGs that just look the same to me. I'm not really there's not many. There's like one or two that I have that I think actually look pretty good, but much of them to me just seem like shovelware because they all look the same. But what I'm talking about would be like because Xenogears is all of its artwork is based in um, Japanese artist game characters. Like it's a very anime. It looks like it's an anime. Like the character art and the cutscenes in the original game, they're straight up anime cutscenes, and the character art is anime based. Even though, I think, and it came from a series of books.
Okay.
I don't think they were manga, but they were books.
Hmm.
And but to take that, so to take the character art from the original game and bring them to life as much as possible, because in the original game they were just a little 2D sprites on PlayStation One. So, and they as good as they did with them at the time, just the idea of taking that and just really make just like Final Fantasy VII remake level, like holy crap, like they really brought this back to life.
So here's a question: What what movies do you guys want that haven't had video games made about them yet? What movies would you want to see turned into video games?
Well, I'll throw a quick one. Well, a quick one would be Dawn of the Dead, but that goes right back to what I've already said about what I want to see in a zombie game. And
Hmm.
Dawn of the Dead would fit right with that, but that kind of goes back to what I already said. Something different though. Something. Well, Dune has been done in numerous forms, mostly RTS and strategy stuff. They actually have an MMO that they announced.
Hmm.
Uh, I mean, I know I would want a particular type of Dune, but that has been done though. Technically, there's plenty of Dune games. Huh? I got it. There's already a demo of this. It's not a full fledged game yet. They don't even
Hmm.
know the game is actually just kind of like a. Well, is that really just a visual represent? It's really just a visual showcase. It's not even a real game yet. So I'm gonna not count that. But it definitely inspired me to be like, oh wow, we can do this and it can look awesome.
Hmm.
So I'm a big John Woo fan. I don't know how familiar you all are with John Woo. I know Mike is a little bit.
some degree.
Um, have you ever seen? Okay, so I mean, I love his Kong Kong films, and that's mostly where I'm going to come from. But in terms of North American movies he directed. Well, when he
Face Off.
first well, he directed Face Off. That was in the later '90s for him, and then, but even before that, he did uh, Hard Target. Jean Claude Van Damme. That was his first
Okay.
North American movie. He did Hard Target. Then he did Broken Arrow with
Hmm.
Christian Slater and John Travolta.
Yeah.
Then he did Face Off. Those were all great. Those are a lot of fun. Face Off's my favorite out of those, but all three of them are very entertaining. And Hard Target is fun. Broken Arrow is cool. Face Off is just fantastic. I love Face Off. So he is known as filming gun action, like gun action in slow motion. That's what he is known for, and he is
Okay.
a king at it. And but back in Hong Kong, what he did with Chow Yun Fat, with Hard Boiled and The Killer, those are two of my favorite action movies of all time. And The Killer is one of my favorite movies of all time. They're so over the top with the gun action that it's just stuff you never see anymore. Like literally, there's nothing else like it out there now.
Hmm.
With what he did in the late '80s, early '90s with these Hong Kong films, it is absolutely bonkers. And to do that visually in a game, and like I said, they've already put out a demo of a visual test of doing this in a game, and it looks just like that, and it looks incredible.
Hmm.
Like just I'm talking like imagine you're in like a little it's well the Hong Kong setting is gonna be a big part of it, like old school Hong Kong little restaurant setting with tables everywhere, and
Mhm.
and it's like, and imagine like you've got dual wielding pistols and you're shooting, and every bullet that hits something makes something, things shatter and break and particles
Mhm.
flying everywhere and guys bodies flying through, and just real dramatic over the top effects and particle effects and sound effects and dramatic, death animations and stunts, and just really where you really feel like I am in a badass action movie.
Mhm.
That even though it's gameplay and I'm playing it, it looks almost so good that it looks scripted, even though it's you playing it on the fly and making these things happen by the choices you make. But it looks good enough where it almost looks pre-rendered.
Okay.
So that and that real tech demo I saw actually is the closest I've ever seen to that. I can't remember what it's called. I have it saved somewhere, but um, yeah. If you, I wish you. We'll see. I'll do this at least since I'm talking about it.
Yeah.
In terms of back to your original question, I think I'd do the Starship Troopers.
Oh, that would be
Yes.
sick too. That would be super sick. There's almost so much you could do with that.
I would lean more towards the books in terms of, or the not
As-
books,
as
but
far as,
book, single book.
As far as content goes.
Yeah. But in terms of the arachnids and stuff, I think the movie did a killer job of that. But in terms of the combat in the book is so much cooler.
See, John Woo basically, John Woo and Chow Yun Fat. So they used to call Chow Yun Fat Rat-a-tat Fat. It was back in '89, because basically they coined the whole dual wielding pistol. Oh wait, sorry, I'm not sharing the right thing. There we go. Okay, so
The dual wielding pistol movie trope. Yes.
yeah,
He
yes.
probably did.
So basically, this is Chow Yun Fat. He's an amazing actor. He's like one of the best actors to ever come out of Hong Kong.
Mhm.
This is the movie The Killer. That he plays a hitman. And John Woo has such a dramatic style that like him. This is in a Chinese restaurant where he's literally sliding down a steps handrail, shooting both his pistols at mobsters.
Hmm.
It's so it's just so crazy. It's stuff you just do not see anymore. The practical effects, the particle effects. I mean, look how beat up they are. Like this is deep in a shootout.
Yeah.
They're like, it's such a cool movie. And it's and Hard Boiled, which is actually more known to more people. And they actually made a game. A unofficial sequel to the game, and with Chow Yun Fat's likeness to the movie. So they kind of made a sequel to it in game form.
Hmm.
So I would love to see a proper, because Matrix is inspired by this. See, everybody's like, oh man, Bullet Time started with Matrix. No.
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 Matrix capitalized on it, definitely.
Yes. Now, I mean, I say that, yes, the whole rotating around Keanu Reeves thing, but in terms
Yeah.
of slow-mo gunfights, no. John Woo was the one, and John Woo is technically not the first to ever do it, but he's the one that really made it a thing. Because he did it, whereas technically, I think Seven Samurai, Kiwasaki, if I remember. Let's see. I want to make sure I get his name right because he's an incredible director. Let me do this. Okay, yeah, Akira Kurosawa. Akira Kurosawa was brilliant. Like for his time back in the back throughout the 50s
Mm-hmm.
and beyond in Japan. Like, he was alive 1936 through.
1993.
Yeah, he was 36 to 93. Like he was the John Ford of Japan. And John Ford is one of the greatest American directors of all time. Up until obviously then the likes of Steven Spielberg and other famous directors, but I think he was the first to really do like slow mo fighting, which in the case of Samurai was slow mo sword fights that had never been done before by anybody to speak of.
So
but John Woo obviously took that further.
So I've got two that could be really dumb or could be amazing. Die Hard.
Oh, it's been done before in a game, but
Has
you're
it?
saying like a true version.
A true version.
Yes,
Yeah.
It's been, yeah. Of course. We all know and love Die Hard.
Christmas game.
Yeah, a nice family Christmas game.
There's actually two of them on PlayStation 1, if you can believe it.
Is
Die
there?
Hard and Die Hard Trilogy. But it's very arcadey, and it's no masterpiece or anything.
Yeah.
But there are Die Hard games out there. They're on PlayStation, and
That could be
those are
done.
the main ports I'm
That
familiar
could be
with.
done really well, or it would be super cheesy. And
There was a Fifth Element that was horrible.
was there?
On PlayStation 1, yeah. It's considered one of the worst games ever.
Oh, I believe
I
it.
played the demo. It's terrible.
I'm on
And-
pins and needles here. What's number 2?
The Tomorrow War.
Ooh.
You know what? Wait.
Mm.
All the
Chris Pratt's movie.
Chris Pratt
Mhm.
movie. Oh
Mhm.
yeah, I love that movie. That movie was sick. That would be a cool game.
That
Kind of like what Mike just said with
Yeah.
um,
Starship Troopers.
Starship Troopers.
Same similar vein. Yeah.
hmm
Yeah,
that
you could tell you could do a side story of other characters with what's going on, but other characters and what they're having to fight and deal with or something.
yeah. Not
you want to.
not necessarily play Chris Pratt, but
No, but like legions upon legions were sent into the future to fight, and some came back and some didn't, and so on.
Right.
There's endless story plots you can go with that.
mm-hmm.
Dude, Tomorrow War is underrated, man. I thought this movie was great.
Mhm.
It took me by surprise. I was like, oh, this might be cool, and I was like, damn.
It
That
threw,
was a
it
good
threw
movie.
me for a loop. I loved it. I loved every second of it.
Oh man.
I wish
yeah.
I wish it was almost 15 to 30 minutes longer.
Yeah.
They could have done a little bit more in the middle.
It's
Like,
funny. Her that plays his daughter. She
Mhm.
was one of the main characters. Her likeness and voice was one of the main characters in Mass Effect 2.
Yes, and 3.
right on. Yeah, that would have been or could be. I think the hype's kind of gone. Same with Die Hard. If they released a Die Hard video game, I don't know that it would have the hype. Same with this. If they would have jumped on it and done it well right after the movie released, I think they could have come up with a really cool game.
I mean, like about 10 or 12 years ago, everybody became afraid of the movie games.
Mhm.
games are produced, based off the movie that just came out or whatever.
Mhm.
It just stopped. Not that they
Oh
produced
well,
the
yeah,
greatest games in the world based off movies, but
dude. Like, I mean, imagine that in a game. Like,
Oh, yeah.
you're the soldier. You got the you got your you got your automatic rifle. That is the standard issue rifle that they have, which is always really cool.
the
And
blinder.
you're just fighting off hordes of bugs and playing basically defense.
Or whatever those creatures are.
Yeah.
As long as it didn't turn into just a strategy game, an overworld looking strategy type game, that would be a little,
RTS.
yeah.
Yeah, I know. It would be a
No,
I
you,
would-
you gotta have a
yeah.
you have a boots on ground concept of that first person
Mhm.
shooter.
Yeah,
principle.
it needed to be the marine, the trooper perspective of you're fighting these things, kind of like the aliens calling it Marines right now, kind of like that,
Yeah.
which is a fun game.
Yes. But yeah, I think that would have been a great game. Right up there with my Starship Troopers.
Man, I crushed on her as a kid. I crushed on her for a long time.
Sergeant Zim.
Like,
That's not
it's like
Zim. That's Dizzy.
the redhead, whatever her name is. She was also in Dragonheart.
That's Dizzy. Dizzy Flores.
Yeah, I
She's
crushed
a
on
he
her
in
for
the
a long
book.
time. Oh,
Oh.
they switched it. No, she was always very pretty too. But I crushed on the other lady
I forgot
more.
her name, but I know.
But I also grew up on Dragonheart too. I liked her in Dragonheart and Starship. I saw her in Dragonheart first, then obviously I wasn't allowed to watch Starship Troopers for a while. But Dragonheart I grew up with.
I saw it in
It-
theaters.
With the Halo Infinite engine, it'd be really cool if they did another what was it, ODST?
ODST, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think that'd be fun too. Now, would I play the heck out of it? I don't know.
Oh, I
Couldn't-
love this
couldn't
guy,
play
this actor. He's awesome. He's played he's been in all sorts of stuff. He's a character actor. He was in Mandalorian too.
Was
Mhm.
He's an iconic voice, very
Hmm.
iconic voice. He's done a lot of
Yeah.
voice work.
He has a pair of horns.
he? Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah. He played the real big, strong dude with
Yeah,
horns.
in one episode.
That's part of the bad with that ragtag group of bad guys.
Yep. I remember.
He was also the villain in the most recent Dexter
Hmm.
season they just came out with.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, he's cool. I like him. Good actor.
Well,
That was him.
anything else we want to talk about? We do have a couple minutes
Easy.
left, but
Let's see. Oh yeah, there's that power. Didn't you say, Mike, you found out that EDF has some loose ties to Starship Troopers in some way? Or,
No, not the Starship Troopers. It has loose ties to Live, Die, Repeat. the Tom Cruise
Okay.
movie.
okay.
Oh, really?
And that has nothing to do
yeah.
with Starship Troopers either, right? Or are they loosely connected in some way at all?
Not that I know of.
Okay. I knew EDF was loosely tied to something, some
Yeah.
franchise or universe in some way.
Live, Die, Repeat would be kind of a cool game too, but
That is a
The-
good movie.
the original Japanese source material was actually called "All You Have to Do Is Kill."
huh?
Wow. Wait. What?
Yeah, that was the original name of the original
Oh no, sorry.
source material for.
I was reacting to this. That looks like Master Chief.
It does.
What? What
I
was
just
that?
I just clicked on this. Oh wait.
For what?
It's saying Flamethrower Starship Trooper.
Yeah. So,
But look at it,
Master
though. Look
Chief,
at that.
Master Chief is based off of the original
Oh.
Starship Trooper
Oh
characters.
wait, I see it. 117.
Oh,
This
okay.
is fan art. I see it. 117. Okay.
Because
Okay.
so in the original
Never mind.
Starship Troopers, they're not like just a troop on the ground with a gun. No, they are in power armor. Armed to the teeth.
Oh.
Yeah. Power.
Like-
Here. There's an example.
Okay, that
yeah,
would
Yeah.
now I get
that's
what you mean
straight
by
up.
source material, not movie, by the book, not the movie. That
like,
would be dope.
A single trooper in the power armor against one of those bugs would be just a fair fight.
Okay, so it's thousands and thousands of troops in power armor rather than just a standard infantry unit. Or
Not so
whatever.
much they combine that with the fact they fly through the air by essentially they call it on the bounce, where they just jump from location to location.
Okay.
You know what?
And as they're flying through the air, they just lob nukes
I'm
everywhere.
gonna give a preview. I'm gonna give a preview of what we could talk about a little bit next week.
Aliens.
Uh,
Aliens.
movies.
That's a nope.
Movies that that clearly and heavily have inspired video games.
Okay.
Aliens has inspired so much.
Mhm.
Like the Marines and I mean, Aliens straight up inspired Halo. The Marines and the way the Marines look and the way they operate and the way and the some of the concepts and particularly in the first game,
Mhm.
Aliens inspired Halo, the first Halo, a lot.
Oh, and our call is about to end. So,
Mm,
thank y'all for hanging out. Catch y'all next week.
Catch you later.
Bye.